Good morning, children. Today, in this video, I'm going to explain you the paragraphs of the chapter Madam Rides the Bus. Now, in the next paragraph, the conductor he started smiling, looking at Wali. He asked him, "May we start now, madam?" The conductor asked, smiling. Then he blew his whistle twice, and the bus moved forward with a roar. It was a new bus, its outside painted a gleaming white with some green stripes along the sides. Inside, the overhead bars shone like silver. Directly in front of Wali, above the windshield, there was a beautiful clock. The seats were soft and luxurious. Now, the conductor he asked in a sarcastic tone. The conductor seeks the approval of Madam before beginning the journey and then blows his whistle twice to signal the driver to start the bus. The bus was new, as was evident from the overhead silver bars that were shining. There was a clock just in front of Wali, and the seats were extremely comfortable. The outside was painted in glowing white and stripes of green along the sides. Wali devoured everything with her eyes, but when she started to look outside, she found her view cut off by a canvas blind that covered the lower part of her window. So she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. Here, devoured means read quickly and eagerly. Canvas means a coarse fabric, and blind means a partition. She quickly glanced at the insides of the bus and turned towards the window to have a view of the outside, but couldn't have the complete view for she was too short and the window blinds were obstructing her view. Thus, she decided to stand up to be able to look properly. The bus was now going along the bank of the canal. The road was very narrow. On one side there was the canal, and beyond it palm trees, grassland, distant mountains, and the blue sky. On the other side was a deep ditch, and then acres and acres of green fields. Green as far as the eye could see. Oh, it was all so wonderful. Suddenly she was startled by a voice. "Listen, child," said the voice. "You shouldn't stand like that. Sit down." As the bus was on a very narrow road now. On one side there was a canal, and beyond it trees, distant mountains, and a large blue sky could be seen, whereas on the other hand there was greenery all around. Wally was enjoying a lot when suddenly someone asked her to sit down. While sitting down to see who told her so, she saw an old man showing concern for her. She was in no mood for anyone's help or advice, so it made Wally annoyed. Sitting down, she looked to see who had spoken. It was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her, but she was annoyed by his attention. "There's nobody here who's a child," she said haughtily. "I paid my 30 paisa like everyone else." The conductor chimed in, "Oh, sir, but this is a very grown up madam. Do you think a mere girl could pay her own fare and travel to the city all alone?" And here, haughtily means proudly, and Wali was too proud to take anyone's help and thus told the old man that she was not a child. She said that she was just like everyone else traveling in the bus and could take care of herself. She had paid the full fare just like and everyone else. The conductor then made a remark that she is a grown up madam. because a child could never pay for his or her bus ticket. Wally annoyingly told the conductor not to call her madam and reminded him that she had not yet received the ticket. Wally shot an angry glance at the conductor and said, I'm not a madam. Please remember that. You have not yet given me my ticket. I'll remember, the conductor said. Mimicking means copying her tone. Everyone laughed, and gradually Wally too joined in the laughter. The conductor punched a ticket and handed it to her. Just sit back and make yourself comfortable. Why should you stand when you have paid for a seat? She said, because I want to, she answered, standing up again. Now then, the conductor, he responded by mimicking her tone, thereby making everyone laugh. All started laughing, and Wally, she also ended up laughing too. And the conductor then handed her the ticket and asked her, just sit back and make yourself comfortable. Why should you stand when you have paid a seat? To which Wali proudly replied that she would do whatever she wanted to. Then conductor said, but if you stand on the seat, you may fall and hurt yourself when the bus makes a sharp turn or hits a bump. That's why we want you to sit down, child. I'm not a child, I tell you, she said irritably. I'm 8 years old. Of course. How stupid of me. 8 years, my. The bus stopped, some new passengers got on, and the conductor got busy for a time, afraid of losing her seat. Wally finally sat down. They further tried on explaining her that they were genuinely concerned about her and she may hurt herself if she continued to stand. She again made it clear that she was 8 years old and hence not a child. The conductor did not leave this chance to have a good laugh too. The bus stopped and the more passengers boarded the bus, and in order to preserve her seat, she quickly sat down when an old woman sat near her. An elderly old woman came and sat beside her. Are you all alone, dear? She asked Wali as the bus started again. Wali found the woman absolutely repulsive. Repulsive means causing strong dislike. She didn't like that woman. Such big holes she had in her earlobes and such ugly earrings in them. And she could smell the betel nut the woman was chewing and see the betel juice that was threatening to spill out over her lips at any time. Oh, who could be sociably with such a person? Now, Wali, that woman asked her that, are you all alone? And the lady was staring at Wali before asking her if she was all alone. Wali developed a strong dislike for the lady whose earlobes had big holes. She did not like her earrings too, and looked at how she was chewing betel nut. She was the last person Wali would like to socialize with. Then Wali said, yes, I'm traveling alone. She answered curtly. Curtly means showing displeasure. And I've got a ticket too. Yes, she's on her way to town, said the conductor with a 30 paisa ticket. Oh, why don't you mind your own business, said Wali. But she laughed all the same, and the conductor laughed too. But the old woman went on with the drivel. Drivel means silly nonsense. Is it proper for such a young person to travel alone? Do you know exactly where you are going in town? What's the street? What's the house number? Then Wali said, You needn't bother about me. I can take care of myself, Wali said, turning her face towards the window and staring out. Wali replied, Yes, I'm traveling alone. She answered curtly, And I've got a ticket too. Yes, she's on her way to town, said the conductor with a 30 paisa ticket. She was annoyed. Wali was annoyed by the elderly lady. Wali replied to her by saying that yes, she was traveling alone and that too with a ticket of her own. Evidently, the conductor spared no chance to tease Wali and have a good laugh. Now, Wali laughed with him too, while the old lady continued to interrupt by asking abrupt questions out of concern. She was bothered about Wali's security and that if she could reach her destination safely all alone. Wali assured her that she can travel alone and started looking outside the window to avoid further conversation. She didn't like that lady. That's why she avoided her. Children, here the fourth video ends, and in my fifth video, I'm going to continue with the explanation of the paragraphs. Thank you. Have a nice day.